I don't know. I'm not tripping, man. I had this list.
Nikolai Pekovic.
We were talking about it a little bit earlier. Questionable quarterbacks. I don't know why you guys talking about basketball players, whatever.
I had Malik Ball next, man.
I'm just not scared of these names in this list. I'm not, and this is very based on a prove it and performance metrics.
Your questionable.
I'm not scared.
Questionable quarterbacks.
I'm not scared of any quarterback on this list, but I think the point is that whoever's facing us that week isn't scared of our quarterback either.
1,000%. But I'm saying just based off people saying like 9 wins, 10 wins, like we can't call it crazy because you're not scared of these guys.
Right.
We took it to these guys. The one on this list that I probably could have left off, maybe Kirk Cousins.
I think you could have left Mac Jones off this list too, just solely because we don't know year 2. I mean, didn't he win Offensive Rookie of the Year in the
No.
Jamar
Chase.
Duh. But wasn't he? But
he would have if it wasn't for Jamar.
He was nominated. He
for sure. He's very much on a prove it basis though. Like we've had RG3. You know what I'm saying? We've had guys who have explosive first years, and again, you get that year of tape on the guys. And it's a little bit different.
I think the difference though is that like we get tape, but like it's not like those guys are all dynamic.
Plus, I pray to
Mac
God
Mac Jones wasn't dynamic. The difference was the difference with Mac Jones to the rest of these guys is that he's in a Bill Belichick New England Patriots system. Yeah. So more so, I think he's in a place now. The one thing is that his offensive coordinator changes this year. Josh McDaniels went to the Raiders. Yep. So that's one thing where that could definitely cause them a lot of issues. However, in New England, even though they're not nearly as good as they used to be, it's just still, it's kind of like even like how the Spurs are now, where it's just like they're like kind of in the middle of the pack, but like you can't count them out still. You know what I mean?
And also when I look at it, it's like, nobody is scared of Jared Goff either. Mm-hmm. But you're saying like our team around Jared Goff is what makes him scary. It's what makes him better. Right. But like the teams around some of these guys are what make them better as well. Like Jalen Hurts, like Mac Jones, like Tua Tagovailoa, like Kirk Cousins, and it's tough because when you have no confidence in your guy either, I think that like it washes this list. Is that like we're playing Carson Wentz, but we have Jared Goff.
Yeah, like instinctively we had number 9 for years. Yeah. So like for us, it was kind of like we went in confident, like we knew like who was behind the center wasn't our problem. You know what I mean? Like and so like I think it's.
Well, I'm saying like the 50-50 games. Like even if you consider it a wash, that means like it's up in the air. It's not for sure we're losing these games. Mm-hmm. Carson Wentz fuck shit up. Kirk Cousins fuck shit up. We actually almost beat them at home at their place too. If you guys remember last year in Minnesota. And they gave us our first win at home as well. Drew Lock. I'm not fucking scared of Drew Lock, especially with that roster.
Yeah, that's a trash team.
Tua Tagovailoa. Yeah, they fucking beefed up with fucking Tyreek, right?
And they have a great defense.
Who's on their defense?
The Dolphins.
Yeah.
What's his name? Byron Jones. They got.
They do have 2 great cornerbacks.
Yeah.
Fuck them though. I'm not scared of them. Fucking Justin Fields. Come on now. I think that kid might end up being a bust. Maybe a little early, but like just based off everything I've seen last year, there's also a shit fucking show going down there in Chicago as well. But I'm not really scared of Justin Fields. Daniel Jones. We know who Daniel Jones is at this point in his career.
Christian Wilkins, Xavier Howard, Byron Jones.
So Xavier Howard, Byron Jones. I give you. Everyone else is kind of like just role play type dudes. I don't know, man. But like if the 50-50 games. And we had that team that fucking wasn't quitting last year with the even worse roster. Right. No matter where they were, whether they're on the fucking road against Pittsburgh, whether they're on the road against the Browns, the Vikings, like, I don't know, man. I'm just saying, like, these 50-50 games.
They should be way more competitive this year. And and there should be way less losses that were as convincing as they were. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we're going to be I don't think we're going to have a whole lot of blowout games we're going to be involved in this year.
As close and as competitive as we were last year. Even Goff, a whole other year in this offense.
Dude.
What?
Dolphins offense is good, man. Their running back room, Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, Sony Michel, Myles Gaskin. They got Jalen Waddle. They got Tyreek Hill. They got Cedric Wilson, Mike Gesicki. They got a squad.
Yeah. It's just,
and
again.
If Tua, who even know, they got Teddy Bridges the backup. So if Tua's not working out, he might not even be the quarterback that week.
I'm not scared of Teddy Bridge either, though.
I mean, again, like, You might not be as scared of Teddy Bridge or Tua, but you should be scared of the Dolphins' offense.
Yeah, you should be scared of Tyreek Hill. You should be scared of Sony Michel.
And put you this way too, like Tua had a lot of those people last year, other than obviously Tyreek. And I think most are like the same offenses.
They didn't have Sony Michel,
They
Raheem Mostert.
They did also get a new coach, that guy from San Francisco 49ers.
McDaniels,
Yeah.
very curious to see,
Yeah, so and from the sounds of it, he wants to do some very similar stuff schematically to what they were doing in San Francisco. But I'd imagine they're going to be, I imagine offensively they're going to be more dynamic. But I mean, again,
100%.
It's it all comes down to who has the keys to the car. You know what I mean? Who's gonna be driving it? So
and Tua's driving. He can crash that motherfucker easy.
And so could Goff.
Yeah, 100%.
But again, that doesn't make this any less true that Tua crashed that bitch as well. So when we're saying like, 6 wins top is like, dog. There's a lot of these are winnable games if they're just as competitive as last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
any given games, Sunday, anything can happen.
But
I'm taking the over. Put you that way.
Making them based winnable games based off of their quarterbacks as the list is not like, I don't know. It's just because we have Jared Goff every week. So I feel like that you could do the same thing if every team did a list like this. Jared Goff will be on the list for every single team too.
Yeah.
So you can't say that they're gonna these are winnable games because of them.
You still these guys are still fucking guys. Just because Jared Goff sucks doesn't make them amazing. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's fair, but it cancels each other out.
It could.
It's just as likely for Jared Goff to blow a game as it is for one of these guys too.
For sure. But in a situation where that's the case, I'm not saying that's a loss. That's a loss. No. Those would be some football games.
I would say that like if you're looking at these lists and you look at like what like Jared Goff's upside can be on a given Sunday, as far as because when we've seen Jared Goff at his best, he's been in some shootouts now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying he's been in like one or two, but we know that we know if Jared Goff's going off, we know he can pop off at some point maybe, but I'm not expecting it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you to count on it, but
no, yeah.
But I mean, I'd say I have faith he has more upside on a given Sunday than Drew Lock, I don't know.
Yeah, Drew Lock is by far the worst quarterback on that list.
100%.
Actually, that's a good question. If we were ranking these guys, where is Jared Goff?
Jared Goff, I'd put him below.
He's
Kirk Cousins.
Who's one? Like Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins, yeah.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins one.
Wentz two.
I'd go. I'd probably go.
Mac three.
Mac three. Hurts.
4. Then Tua.
Yeah.
Right. So where's Goff in that list?
I would put Goff above Tua.
Yeah, I'd put him right smack dab in the middle somewhere.
I'd rather have Jalen Hurts than Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's at least that more chance of something dynamic.
Yes.
With him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. When you have guys like that, you almost always have a chance.
Yeah, and he's still young.
Yeah.
You never know.
But so that's the same thing too. Is the Jalen Hurts, Mac Jones, Drew Lock. Well, not Drew Lock so much, but Tua, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson. Yeah, you say that an extra year. You got a whole year of tape on these guys too, but also they have a whole year of being in the NFL. They have a whole year of being with these franchises. So just as much as they could take a step back, they could take a step forward. Yeah. So I don't like judging them based off of 1 year yet because we don't know what they are. We don't know what they're going to mold into. We don't know what they're going to turn into.
And in his 1 year, he got him to the playoffs.
Yeah.
The only guy I'd have confidence in saying I can prove me 100% wrong on this is Zach Wilson. I like Zach Wilson a lot, to be honest with you. And I kind of like the Jets coaching staff and team now, especially. They got beefed up too. Bryce Hall they picked up. I think that's about it, the offense.
You're writing off Drew Lock. Well, I don't know why I keep going. He's obviously
I'm writing off Drew Lock.
You're writing off Mac Jones, Justin Fields, and Tua Tagovailoa already as trash.
Yes, Mac Jones maybe.
Oh, dude, I don't
think he'll be anything more than a game manager.
He's made the Pro Bowl.
He
made the Pro Bowl last year.
Jared Goff made the Pro Bowl.
He didn't make it last year.
Okay, again, he's fucking made the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl really don't mean shit nowadays.
Your rookie year. That's pretty impressive.
It is pretty good. I mean,
Jared Goff made the Pro Bowl.
To make the playoffs and the Pro Bowl your rookie year.
You also have fucking Bill Belichick as your head coach, the greatest coach in the history of football.
Another reason why that's not as winnable of a game as it should be.
But I mean, part of why Tom Brady left was because not just anybody can deal with Bill Belichick either. It takes someone special to come in rookie year and take the reins of a Bill Belichick
just someone
team.
Who's going to sit and be his bitch. Do what he says.
Well, I mean, it's a complex system.
Kind of a bold statement.
it's a complex system to go out and run. And
statement. This is how like
you're gonna sit there and be his bitch. Like I don't think Mac Jones was sitting there being Bill Belichick's bitch. I don't think listening to the greatest coach of all time and running the plays that he tells you to play, which is his job, is sitting there being a bitch. I think that's being a quarterback in the NFL.
Why are you so offended by that? But you called Jared Goff a cuck.
Because he is. But I don't know. I just think you're giving up on these guys way too early.
I'll tell you what, Zach Wilson could be something special. I think obviously Trevor Lawrence could have been something special. That's why I left him off this list. But the other guys, I think they kind of are what
I think Justin Fields deserves way more of a chance too, because I think he was fundamentally failed by his coaching staff.
Yeah,
and everyone in Chicago.
And honestly, to God, I call bullshit on that as well. Just because we saw that coaching staff take it to the playoffs, take Mitch Trubisky. We're talking about guys making a Pro Bowl, but Mitch Trubisky to a Pro Bowl,
right?
Like that staff isn't fucking they're not jokes. You know what I'm saying? Justin Fields.
As it went on, though, it got as it went on, like after that, it just got worse, and it just you could tell that they didn't have the buy-in of the locker room.
Matt Nagy was a joke last
year. And in general, Matt Nagy did totally and utterly mismanage Justin Fields' rookie year. As far as like when he put him in, as far as what kind of offense they ran when he was on the field.
So I think that shit was just more media, just because all the shit that he's shown beforehand prior to a guy that I don't know. Actually, it's kind of a good question. Who's worse, Mitchell Trubisky or Justin Fields?
But that's Justin true. Justin Fields has more talent than Mitchell Trubisky, and if you're this guy who got Mitchell Trubisky to make a Pro Bowl, you got Mitchell Trubisky to take you to the
multiple playoffs. Yeah.
Why did Justin Fields fail so hard?
I think he was pressured by the media to put him in earlier than Justin Fields should have been in. I think Justin Fields could have used a year on the bench learning the system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but also, and I think Nagy for his job succumbed to that pressure and didn't have an actual plan ready for like, all right, because he
definitely that first game he played. The first game Justin Fields played, they had no game plan. It was fucking awful.
It was terrible. Yeah, and that might have perhaps killed his whole confidence for the rest of the year. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like that's how fragile it can be being a rookie quarterback. Like if you go out there and it's hell your first night.
He just hates the Bears and wants them to all be trash.
No, I hate the Bears, but it's like I don't succumb to that narrative, especially again having the evidence of what he was beforehand. Like I just don't think Justin Fields is ready to be in the game at that point. It is what it is. Like that's how it is with rookie quarterbacks. There's a reason why a lot of times they sit there for a minute. There's a reason why Justin Fields wasn't the first QB off the board. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think Justin Fields is what maybe you guys think he is. I mean, I don't know. I don't
think he's great. I don't think he's going to be great. I think he's better than Mitch Trubisky though.
I don't think it's fair to like I don't think he's going to be this amazing like trend setting trail setting quarterback, but like trailblazing quarterback. But like what I do say is like I certainly don't think he's going to be a bust either. Like I think just to outlandishly call him that right away. Like I saw this, even though it's just college, I saw this kid play for a number of years. I know I've seen what he can do on a given day. Mm-hmm. When put in a good system, when they actually utilize his strengths. But that's the thing, we haven't seen him in an NFL system yet, where like they've actually tried to utilize his strengths, and that's why Matt Nagy was terrible.
I just think that's bullshit because he did it with a worse guy. He definitely could have did it with a more talented guy. And rookies do fuck up. Rookies fuck up. Mac Jones fucked up last year in certain games. Like Justin Fields very well. I feel like 50-50 on the reason that shit looked ugly.
But wasn't that Bears team also that Mitch Trubisky led? Wasn't that also a way better roster as well? Weren't they?
I don't know if it was a way better roster. Maybe a little bit offensively. I mean, they still had Allen Robinson.
Jordan Howard, Tariq Cohen.
Yeah, like it wasn't much better. It wasn't any better than this one, really.
I think it was
Darnell Mooney is a hell of a receiver. They still had Allen Robinson last year.
Obviously. I mean, but defensively, they weren't the same. Like they weren't the same Bears team this past year that they were when they went to the playoffs either.
They still had a pretty solid defense.
I mean, they were okay, but they weren't what the Bears team were that year.
That's kind of what carried them last year. Was that defense
underperformed last year hard though.
They definitely did. They definitely did. And another thing too, you got to figure like they have a whole staff of coaches that watched this kid in camp and went into the regular season saying, "Yeah, we're not gonna start him."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Versus guys in the media who only watch the games. I'm saying like. Versus, they don't see practice. They don't see how well he's.
Who was starting? Andy Dalton was starting over him and got hurt, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Andy Dalton got hurt.
It's like these coaches have like inside access on like what this guy is as a player. Does he remember the playbook? Does he study the plays? I'm saying shit like that.
Yeah, but even if it's not fair though, the truth is that like even if he wasn't ready, even if all that's true, it's at the end of the day. it's still the head coach's job to do everything you can to get him prepared for when that opportunity
Says the guy
does.
defends Dwayne Casey, but anyway.
Dwayne, that is so different.
Keep going. I'm listening.
Well, now that got me off train of that messed my train of thought. But in all seriousness, like
he does.
Yeah, it's what he does, man. But anyway, yeah, with again, like it's like if you have like a guy that can run and that is dynamic, and you don't use that, and you just try to. Yeah, man. I just don't trust the Bears. I mean, I hope Justin Fields has a better year this year. I think he'll have a better chance.
You hope he does? He plays for the Bears. You're a Lions fan, you fuck.
I mean, I just hope for his sake as a human being. That's all. I mean, at the end of the day, fuck the Bears. When they play us, hell yeah.
I hate the Bears so much.
Get his ass kicked.
I hate the Bears so fucking much.
I don't know why.
I hate the Bears so much? I hate the Packers more than I hate the Bears.
Catch.
That's not the Bears' fault.
Yeah, it was the refs.
It's the Bears. It's fuck the Bears for life. After
I hate the Packers.
I hate the
Packers
more than I hate the Bears too.
Yeah, Spencer, we get it.
I mean, that's all right. Losers. Too fucking, and they're nerding out. All right. Anyway, we can move on from it.
He just gets hateful when someone disagrees with him.
I don't get hateful. I've called you nerds.
I don't get hateful.
Yeah, fucking losers.
I call you that all the time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Fucking nerd. I watched your story
fucking
yesterday. What I say
you just did it again.
I don't know, right?
But it's a loving gesture. It's not like fucking.
I know. I'm just fucking with
You want me to cut into you right now?
You want me to call you fucking nerd? You want me to call you fucking nerd? I'll call you a fucking nerd.
Your mom left your dad when you were 12 because you're a piece of shit.
He just break down every little thing that's happened. Like.